Hi guys, how you doing? This Petey over at Petey Photography here. Gonna go over a little tutorial how I edited my latest photo. This is a band called A Cityscape. They're from Boston, Massachusetts. We hung out down in Worcester, shot at this local park, and there was this huge bridge over there. And because it was so cold out, the whole pond and river was frozen over. So we decided it'd be awesome to actually shoot in the ice. So that's what we did. This scene was lit by a single Alien B800 shot through a large foldable policy buff. I want to say it was the Octabox, if I can remember correctly, either a half power or full power, adjusted so I still had a better hue and I could really take those blues in the sky and actually use them in the photo. So let's go ahead and get started here. First and foremost, what I always do is take the background, hit Control J, and make a copy of it. That way, if I ever need to go back to the original for whatever reason, I always have that there. Alright, so what I like to do, I see a lot of textures and colors and lighting that I really want to bring out in this photo. A way that I do that is very simply, there's many different ways you can do the same effect in Photoshop. I do it very easily. All I do is go to Overlay. Immediately you can see a whole bunch of, the photo is a whole lot more contrasty. However, it's way too much, especially for my liking. So what I like to do is, I believe I hit Alt and then add Layer Mask. And what that will do, that'll hide what the overlay did until I go over and paint it with white. Many of you guys know how to use layer masks, which is great. I'll be using my Wacom bamboo tablet, make things a little bit easier. Alright, so if I go to just my brush side, I got white, very nice large soft brush. Gonna go over the areas I want it to affect. You're gonna notice it's gonna be very heavy at first, but we'll adjust it later for the kind of look that I'm going for. Also down here in the ice, simply because it makes it a little bit more contrast. It brings out the little ice skate marks, as you can see. I like that. Adds a little more texture to the photo. Now I'm going to reduce my opacity here and go a little bit over their clothing and take a little bit of time. Add a little bit more contrast, especially the shadows. Any kind of shine or sheen that's there, we're going to add that. Maybe a little bit more. Alrighty, there we go. That's looking good. Probably not so much on the faces. I'm going to Control Z for more. Alright, now I think there's way too much saturation here, so what I like to do is actually reduce that in one of my favorite ways. I believe we go Image, Adjustments. Oh, I need to select Image, Adjustments. We got Hue and Saturation here. I'm just gonna bring it down slightly, just a bit, not much, but just enough to knock some of that really bright color out of there. I think right about there is good. Beautiful. The thing that I do like in this photo, I like how there's this range of and shadows. I think it really makes the photo more interesting to actually look at. And that's how I add a little bit of contrast to my textures there. Very, very nice. I dig it. I'll add a little bit of white there. I didn't want white to be. Okay, so the next thing is, I noticed that day when we shot, it was absolutely nice, beautiful, sunny blue sky, which is great. However, I find it kind of boring. So, a little bit of comp in the sky. I'm going to use this one that I found. It has a little bit of a golden touch, a lot of blue sky, and very similar gradients, I noticed. So we're going to Control A to select the whole image, Control C to copy it, and then what I'm going to do is Control V. Good. Alright. Now, to figure out where I want this, what I'm noticing in this sky is that you have this nice swoop of clouds here. And I like that. I feel like I'm going to be able to use that to my advantage. So we're going to reduce our opacity here by about half and place it. Now what I'm going to use that swoop of sky is direct the viewer's eye to the lead singer. So I'm going to have it swoop around and end right by his head there. And I want to say right there should be good. Now, different ways to comp in a sky is use different blending modes. I found out, where is it? Hard light seemed to work for this. I'm going to opacity back up. You notice some things are just way too much, which is fine. We'll be able to fix that in a bit. Alright, again, layer mask, hit Alt, layer mask, disappear. Now we're going to paint that sky back in, and we're going to take our time doing it. Make sure. Right now I'm not worried about how well it is. How well it's looking. I'm just looking to cover all the main parts and do it quickly. And what we'll do is erase it from the part where I don't want it to be. You notice I'm not being too exact, which is absolutely okay. Okay. Alright, now this is where we're going to zoom into our image. And we're going to swap our colors. You can hit that or hit X. Reduce the brush size and really get into where we don't want it to be. Probably up the opacity a little bit. You can really see a difference rather quickly. Around the edges, take your time. You know, especially when you have nothing but time. Why not? Face on the outside of the bridge here, and these are areas you can zoom in real tight. Shot this with my 17-40 f4L lens on my Canon 5D. Get that sky with clothing. Black, you can immediately notice it. Let's see. Sometimes I do like that little bit of flare button. We'll see. Alright. Get off of his face. Bit smaller. Really get in there. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Alrighty. There's different ways you can do this. If you have your favorite way of comping in the sky, I find this one works more often than not for me, so that's why I use it. That too. Okay. Alright, so things are looking pretty good. You notice the sky is a little flat, which is alright. We're gonna amp it up, bump it up, and change that so we have a little more contrast and color to it and things of that nature. Okay. Alrighty. So now what we need to do is image adjustments. Shadows and highlights, but I believe I need to be on this image. Okay. Image adjustments, shadows and highlights. What we're going to do is put everything down. Start from 0. Okay. What I do, I really just play around with it. So I see something that I like. Alright, looks like I need to zoom out here so I can really take a good look at it. Okay, so image, adjustments, start from 0. Don't go with whatever they give you. Just gonna. Alright. Don't really just play around with it because it looks just about right. What I'll do too is go over my layer mask of this, make sure it's all evenly maxed in. You see what each one does. It looks like the highlighter, you can tell it's how much highlights versus how much of a, you know, so something looks good. Somewhere right in there. Perfect. Alrighty. Yeah, so let's make sure this is in there evenly. Good. What I might do is move the sky too, so this might mess things up a little bit. Yeah, it's okay. You know what? That's it. Leave it just right there. Good. Alrighty. So I'm looking at how that looks. Not liking this one particular cloud, but you know what? I'm just gonna move it because it's bothering me that much. There we go. Alright. Now we're just gonna have to fix it. So we got white. Perfect. Go back to the brush. A little bit bigger. Layer mask. Alright, time to remove stuff from the clothing. Okay. Again, I'm gonna use that cloud to lead the viewer's eye towards the singer. Tablet makes things so much easier. Okay. Alright. I think I'm liking that. Okay, so. Already dinging it. Now, the thing I do want to accent is some of the. Hold on. I see where it's leaking over still and it's bothering me. Okay, some things I do want to accent. Anything I see a shine or sheen to, I kind of like to bring it out. So a lot of stuff you see me do would be hair. So what I'm going to do is a quick dodge and burn. I'm going to do new layer. Do layer. Let's see. Fill with 50% gray. Now you can dodge and burn any way you like or any technique. This is just the way I do it. Go to overlay so it doesn't affect anything. And I pick dodge. Alright, I noticed some stuff in his hair, so I'm going to want to bring that on out. Low, low. I'm going to start with very low exposure here for it. I'm going to go to highlights. I do. So we need a little bit. You don't need anything crazy. Just enough to bring out any highlights that I really want to emphasize and make the photo look a little bit more interesting. I saw something on his jacket earlier. Oh, I gotta take care of that. Highlights on a jacket, on a sleeve. good. Alright, so back to dodging and burning. Like I said, little parts, nothing crazy, just little accents. Brings it out slightly. Textures. There's no really rhyme or reason. It's whatever, like. Alright, burn. This is where we're gonna add a little bit to our shadows. I usually go over this with a black clothing. Add a little bit of contrast to the darker areas. Again, it's nothing crazy, but it adds a little bit to it, which is nice. You can see little changes it's made so far. Okay. Helps add a little bit of contrast to leather as well. You don't want a high exposure, just very low percentage. Alright, if I zoom out, I'll show you the before and after. It's very, very subtle, but it helps out. Your jeans up one more time. Blacken those up a little bit more. Alrighty, so I'm digging the sky, looking how that looks. The sky, I think I might add a little more contrast on the right image. Image. See, I don't want to use curves. Right now, folks. A little bit of contrast there. Make the sky pop a little bit more. Good. Okay. Digging that. Liking how it looks. Now, I'm noticing the thing I really want to do is something with this flare here. I like the warmth color of the sun as it reflects off the ice, so I really want to play on that. So what I'll do, I will take my, let's see, eyedropper tool, see what kind of colors it wants to give me. Might choose that, or actually just might. I'll try that out. Okay, what I like to do with this is add another layer. I'll go to, I believe it's soft white. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint that color on. Bigger brush size. You see it's changing it dramatically right there. Don't worry about the amount of color that's adding, we'll reduce that. And then up here I want to add a little bit as well. Nothing crazy, just enough to help accent it. You notice there's a lot going on, so next we do is reduce the opacity. So just a little bit. Somewhere right there. That looks nice. Alright, what I'm thinking. Yeah, there we go. Alright. What I'm thinking what I'll do too is I want to emphasize this flare a little bit more. So we're going to select it, layer via copy. We're going to go to screen, and then we're going to go filter, blur, gauge and blur, however you want to say it. And max it out. Okay. Alright. And what I'll do, maybe I'll make this a little bigger. Apply. Good. Then if you want to reduce the opacity on that for whatever effect you're going for. But yeah, that's about it. Just a couple very, very simple editing ways. Again, everyone does it differently. This is just how I do mine. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out with a photo, editing tips, things like that. Alrighty, again, it's Petey over at Petey Photography. Hope you enjoyed this little editing tutorial, what I did. Again, I know I didn't go over everything in detail, but if you have any questions, just give me a